Hi Virgo, welcome to your December reading. I'm Mystica Venice and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to start by clearing the energy. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, please be here now to give divine wisdom and advice for Virgo December 2025. We welcome you and thank you for being here. Please protect this space from any negative energies, and thank you so much. So I'd like to start by pulling a couple of oracle cards. This is an ocean oracle deck, and just kind of see some of the themes that are coming up for you this month, Virgo. Alright, what do we have for Virgo? I hope you're having a wonderful time. Getting very close to the full moon energy here, and I know that's people are getting ready to like release things that they've realized have no longer served them. You have sea turtles. Oh, there's two here. It's the first one. Navigate life's challenges with patience and grace, trusting that slow and steady progress leads to success. And then you have this one, Coral Castle. Live with intention and purpose, aligning your actions with your deepest values and desires. So to me, this talks about integrating the knowledge that you've been receiving by having the time to reflect on all that's been working and not working in your life. And it's telling you to take the time to really like have the time to reflect and think about these things without feeling the need to like rush into it, because then you're going to be making a better decision because you've been able to have the time to weigh out all the options and things like that. And also just to appreciate the slow stillness of this season, of the winter season. It's time to slow down. Like the earth literally slows down. We have more time at home because there's more night and all of that. And then the live with intention and purpose, align actions with your deepest values and desires. So like after reflecting, as you're coming through December, you're starting to see like the decision making come in, like where you're going to release the things that are no longer working, where you need to make some changes in your life, and where you're going to spend more energy on the things that are working in your life. Okay. And let's see here. Let's do one of the Sacred Forest Oracle. Okay, ooh, focus. This is the Wizard of the Woods. So yeah, I mean, this is just reinforcing that same scenario of like the deep night of winter and using this time, to process the things that we're working throughout the year and where we want to make changes. Not to say that it like has to be like a New Year's resolutions, but New Year's resolutions came about for a reason. There's a reason why they happen at the beginning of the new year. It's because everybody is forced to slow down during this time. Like before there was like, let's say, electricity, you really would, get off work early, go home, maybe work on some crafts, and those would be your Christmas gifts. Maybe you're meditating while doing these crafts, and these would, spending this time with family at home and like reflecting on all these things is what would help you to come up with solutions for when the sun gets lighter and the springtime comes. So that's literally what it is. It's a natural process. It doesn't have to be New Year, New Me. That's so passé. But it is definitely a time to reflect on the milestones that you've made throughout the year and to see where you want to like put your resources going forward. It's a valuable lesson. And it's important to spend time doing that. Like it's, easy to get caught up in the busyness of the season and then not even have that time to reflect on what you're doing in your life and what direction you're going. So this is a very important message. We're going to see how these themes tie into your reading. So let's pull some tarot and see what's coming up for you. I want to pull a few cards. Oh. There's a Page of Wands there. Ooh, the Devil. Ah, the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups tells me that there is something that you actually have not been looking at, and you're almost like dissociating. I always call this card the dissociation card, but basically the Four of Cups, he's got these 3 cups here, material, real-life cups here. And then he's also got this cup, this dream cup, or a cup handed down from the divine, like a gift, if you will. And he's not looking at either of any of these cups. He's got his arms crossed. He is staring down at his feet, unwilling to like look or appreciate these particular cups or any of these cups. So it's like saying that, you know, like your focus is elsewhere at this time. We'll clarify these. Where is Virgo's focus? Why does Virgo have this Four of Cups here? Why is... because you may be at the end of your journey, like leaving. This is the Ten of Wands. This is the end of an action journey. So maybe you're like not wanting to see that it's the end of something. The end is near. And so you're not looking at any of the cups. You're not wanting to like tap into the emotion of what that feels like going down this road alone here. And you're having to juggle a lot of things at this time. In order to just keep the ball rolling. It's like you kind of see this like inevitable road ahead, but you're not ready to look at it. And you're busy. You're busy juggling your finances. You could be dissociating by, doing things that make you feel joyful. This card could talk about play because she is juggling, being playful. So it's both, And then you have the Page of Wands here, and this says that there is a message coming in, and this is a message about an action to be taken, or a new passion coming in that you are following. Why is this Page of Wands here for Virgo? Oh, it's definitely a new passion. You got the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So you have a new passion, and you also have like a new emotion. This could also be a person coming in, a lover into your life, and this could be why maybe you're not paying so much attention. Like you're distracted by these other things here that are more enjoyable and more fun, and so like you're putting your attention in this direction. Things that don't seem like they are like a dead end, I mean, that's more of an open road, but we'll get to it. It does seem you may be distracting yourself with like various lovers or something like that. Or these are just new passionate interests. Anything else here for these pages? So you've got 2 Knights and a Page. We got, Page, Knight of Wands. There's growth in this passion. And then you have the Devil. And so the Devil talks about self-imposed restrictions. This could be negative self-talk. This could be addictions. This could be like working to, like addicted to work. It could be shopping, food, drugs and alcohol. It could just be, negative self-talk. Any limiting self-beliefs that you have, because in this picture, these people can easily remove these binds. They're very loose, but they don't. They stay there because they feel like it's like anything that you tell yourself that you want to stop doing, that you continue to do. Like in the workaholics case, I'd love to spend time with my family, but every time like a work occasion arises, they're like, oh, me, I'll take that. So it's like, so any area of your life, it appears that I would say to caution at this time. I mean, it is December, so like maybe you are like leaning into like, you know, enjoying these parties and meeting these new people. Maybe this dissociation card is not that big of a deal. And it seems like, oh, you got Three of Pentacles reversed on the Devil, which is like, you know, not working that great in community. Like maybe you're working alone on something. Hanged Man, you need to take the time to see this new perspective with clarity. So it's talking about like taking a time out from maybe these co-workers here in the Three of Pentacles and healing with the Star. Got the Star there. So you need to spend some time in healing this month. I'm going to pull a couple of these on this Four of Cups. Tell me more about this Four of Cups with the Ten of Wands here. Is that the Wands? Yes. Tell me, and the Two of Pentacles. What is going on in this situation? What are they distracted from? Why are they distracted here? Past person. You're thinking about somebody from the past, and that could be what this limiting self, this could be why you have the Devil here. Is like you're thinking about this past person, and even though you have all of these new people showing up on your doorstep, knocking on your door, you know, like you're just not paying attention to them. You're doing your own thing at this time, and you're not interested, right? You're healing and gaining perspective. So I feel like you're healing your heart. Okay, so the last card you pulled here was the Eight of Swords, sorry. And in this card, this is like somebody who feels like they can't get out of a situation, feels like they're trapped in this situation, but they're coming close to being at the end of it. It's like, you know, they could release themselves from these binds if they gain the new perspective, like the Hangman. You know, like it's almost like a painted into the corner card. You've painted yourself into a corner and you don't feel like you can get out. You feel a little bit trapped by this. Why do we have the Eight of Swords here for Virgo? Yeah, don't forget you need to focus with the Hangman and the Star and heal your heart. Seven of Swords. You know, like you've been, like you have your defenses up because somebody has been untrustworthy with you in the past, and so maybe that's why you just don't feel like you want to meet these new people at this time. That's why you're too busy healing. Like, you know, why else is World? End of a chapter. So it's a good month to really spend time healing and contemplating. Oh yeah, I also think this is like a healing card. In this card, she's been fighting a long time, and she is fighting to keep her like mental stability, balance, like, you know, like to not let these people get a rise out of her. And it takes a lot of restraint. You know, here she is meditating to like not let these people get a rise out of her, to know that, like, to know your worth. You know, these people are down here and you're up here. Know your worth. This is your competition, and you've been like, you know, this could be, you know, limiting beliefs, negative self-talk also, or it could be like, you know, the people around you feel are not being supportive, but you are closing out this chapter, and it's gonna be behind you. Like, you're gaining the advantage. You're no longer fighting the uphill battle. What else is the Ten of Swords here? Four of Cups. So we're back to the beginning. I would say be careful of looping thoughts and looping patterns, because this is the first card we pulled out Four Cups, Four Cups. This is somebody that is like having trouble like deciding which action to take. You know, and every time they start to think about it, they come back around to the beginning, right? It's looping thoughts. And that's also why you have the devil here. It's like looping thoughts, negative self-thoughts. Like, you know, you may want to seek out therapy at this month. If you don't feel like you have family and friends that you can talk to about whatever this is, like it may be something where you like, you know, you don't want to repeat this cycle. So it's important to really spend the time, rather than distracting yourself, to like do the inner work and to like, you know, spend some time with mental clarity, like reduce the amount of noise in your space and like sit with yourself, like meditate, because it keeps coming back around. It's giving me like a bit of like limerence. I don't know if you know what limerence is, but this is it's sort of like you're like addicted to a person. Like you could actually get like, not you, but a person with limerence is addicted to a person and they actually receive like dopamine hits just from like calling that person, talking to that person, seeing on their social media and things like this. And so it talks about like patterns of looping behavior, and it doesn't even have to be a romantic partner. It could also be like a friendship. It doesn't have to, it could be you know, like your favorite celebrity or band that you're into, and like it's becoming like a looping thought or a pattern. So we want to train ourselves out of these patterns and get out of those mental loops. It's a pretty tough reading here. Let's see. What advice do you have? Yeah, it's telling you to trust your intuition and to exercise, like the action of going inward, of like allowing yourself to see something clearly with your intuition that you may have either not been able to see or been too busy with the, you know, the juggling card here, not having the time, maybe distracting yourself with other things. But, you know, when you are alone at night, these things come back and they are like haunting you, right? What advice do you have for Virgo for this situation? How can Virgo calm their minds this December? Any advice? Whoa! Okay. So yeah, the Sun, the Lovers, the Magician. The Sun and the Lovers fell out in reverse. So like the Sun, you know, I think that it's like once you release this past love that you have been thinking about, or like, yeah, this past love that you've been thinking about, or some person that you've been thinking about, once you release this energy, you're going to start to feel better. And you have the Magician, so it says that you have everything you need to be able to do this. But there is some blockage. Let's find that out. What is the blockage? What's blocking Virgo from releasing this? Knight of Wands, like, you know, this may have been a really, like, special person. This also talks about strength. King of Wands, sorry. You know, let's see, grief here. This is what's blocking you, the King of Wands. You know, it's just a very charismatic person. And also, like, having the strength to get through it. What else is blocking Virgo? What else is blocking Virgo here? Celebrations, you know, it could also, you know, still be that you're distracting yourself. You know, it's Christmas or the holiday season, you know, distracted, going to parties, having, you know, fun with friends, drinks, dancing, all of that, and maybe distracting yourself with like another person as well, even though this past person keeps coming up for you. What other messages do we have for Virgo here? Can you tell Virgo what hardship? It's been really hard going through this. Like, you know, don't deny yourself that it's a struggle. You know, moving on from the past is no joke. Virgo. You're Virgo, you can get through this. You're an inspiration. You're going through the next chapter, new opportunity, right? So you can leave this connection from the past in the past, you know? Your ancestors are protecting you, as well as your fairy godmother. This will take work and effort. I mean, I think these are all quite self-explanatory. This will take effort, but you know, have everything. You have the magician. You have everything you need on your side to get you through this. You're healing this month, and it takes time and courage, and like, proud of you for going through this, you know. And it's easy during this time of year to be like reminded of like old wounds and things that resurface, you know. When we think about, you know, the special people in our life this time of year, when we're celebrating with the special people in our life, it's natural that these things come up. I want to go ahead and pull a wild unknown oracle for you. These cards are very inspiring. Ooh, the dead end. Yeah, leave the past. Where was that? Leave the past in the past. This is a dead end. You can't go any further down this road, and you know it. This is something that you already know. So the looping, you know, this has got to, this is a dead end. You know, this looping behavior from, you know, the beginning card to the last card. It's the same card, right? And then let's do, what themes are going to be coming up in the new year in January after this is worked through in December. What do we have coming up in January? The Hunter and the Fault Line. You know, it seems like, you know, you are going to be going after what you want. And it does seem like you're also going to start to notice where some of the cracks are, like maybe through this inner work that you're doing here in December. You're going to kind of start to see like where things aren't working anymore, and like, you know, maybe you're a little late on the releasing in the winter time because of all this distracting and fun times, but you are going to get there, and you're going to figure out what you want, and you're going to go for it. So come back in January, and we'll talk about that. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you next month. Bye.